it's Matt Faircloth, and welcome to DeRosa Insiders Live. Our company's the DeRosa Group, and we transform lives through real estate. That's what we do. That's what we're here to help you do too. Okay, guys, let's talk about how people can really boost their business and take things to the next level. Maybe you watching grew up and went to a country club and you know all the rich people that you need to know. And you grew up with best friends that are all commercial real estate brokers. So they all bring you deals and you got all the money you need and all the deal flow that you need, right? Maybe that's you. Okay. But maybe you're not grew up in a country club, silver spoon in your mouth with lots of real estate brokers. Maybe like the rest of us, you got to work to get noticed. And so today's guest is none other than the marketing director for DeRosa, who's going to talk to us about the ways that real estate investors like us, like you and me, can get noticed by either passive investors or noticed by potential business partners. How do we get eyes on us in our businesses? So, guys, lots of hearts, lots of love for our marketing director, Jessyka Lee. Jess, how are you today?
Hey, doing well. Thanks for having me on today, Matt.
You're welcome. Thank you for joining us today.
Mm.
So, Jess, it's funny because a lot of real estate investors I talk to are like, I got enough. I have all the investors that I need for my deals and whatnot.
Sure.
Let's start here.
Must
Aside
be
from
nice.
investing, I mean, because as you know, DeRosa raises a lot of capital, right?
Mhm.
Why, in general, is it good for a company, not just a real estate investment firm like us? Why is it good for a company to even have marketing? Why are you necessary, marketing director?
Why am I necessary? Well,
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
are.
I,
Don't believe I
I
that's I believe that's a
sure,
fact.
sure. I mean, it's a very simple answer. If you don't tell people you exist, nobody knows you exist. And that means on the internet, and that means in person, and that means everywhere, right? If you don't have a website, if you don't have business cards, if you aren't talking about your company and your brand, who the heck's going to even know that you're out there to begin with? And again, maybe like Matt said, you're born in that country club life and you got that silver spoon, and good on you if you do, but that's not usually everybody's reality. And it's interesting you bring this up too, because we hold office hours in our education program that we run, where we help other people grow their business. And one of the biggest things I get with new students is them asking me, why do I need marketing? I'm just buying real estate,
Yeah.
which kind of cracks me up because they almost don't even see it as a business. And so, the first thing I tell all of them is you have to treat this like any other business and come up with, not just a business plan, but a marketing plan.
Mhm. Yeah. I can tell you guys firsthand that you never know when it always helps to expand your network. Even if you are, keep making fun of silver spoon folk or whatever, right? Even if that is you, it helps to get to know new people because you want to
Mhm.
grow and expand. You want to continue to build your business and have new contacts that can either bring you opportunities or invest in deals with you or partner up or bird dog or just say simply like, hey, I know that Brandy Edgecombe is invested in Philadelphia, and here's a 20 unit deal that just came across my plate. Not something for me, but I happen to know because Brandy's good at marketing herself, just picking on her because she's watching us right now, that just she's good at marketing herself. So I'm going to forward her that deal. It's not always to get money from investors. It's not always to market a specific thing. So yeah, some people might say, like, well, I have nothing to sell right now. I'm
Sure,
not selling anything. Yeah, well,
sure.
yeah, but you also want people thinking of you, right? About like, well, hey, I know DeRosa's invested in North Carolina, and let me let me think about North Carolina, whatever. If I read this article about North Carolina, maybe I'll forward it to Matt because Matt might get
Yeah,
value from it or whatever. You want
sure.
people to know what you do and kind of have your company in their foresight, right? Just quick note from Brandy. You can have all the best product and service on earth, but if no one knows about it, you're not going to sell it. Flip flies true as well. You can have a mediocre offer, great marketing. Yeah. I've
Yeah,
seen
very
very
true.
mediocre product get marketed phenomenally and have it fly off the shelf.
And to that point too, Matt, out of sight, out of mind is a very real thing. And that's something that I've always said. I've been in marketing over 15 years now. That's something that I've told every client I've ever worked with, including the philosophy that I implement for DeRosa and that I tell our students. Whether you're selling something or not, still have to be everywhere. You have to be in people's inboxes. You have to
Yep.
be at networking events. You have to be on social media, because brand recognition and brand consistency and building your reputation is a huge part of why people trust you and want to work with you, whether you're
Yeah.
selling something or not. It's who you are. You are your brand.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, how many tugs at mine or your eyeballs do you and I get on a daily basis? I mean, I'm looking at everything from a Toyota commercial on my cell
Oh
phone
yeah.
to like a billboard to a, like a mailer in my inbox or whatever. So we all get tugs for our eyeballs everywhere, as does everyone else. And so if you're not making a little bit of noise to get noticed by the world about what you're up to, you will be forgotten, because there's
That's right.
plenty of other media that's out there that's going to gladly take that person's eyeballs and have them think of their company instead of yours.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah.
so Jess, let's hop in.
Yes.
Hop
Okay.
in head
Let's do
first.
it.
Let's jump into the deep end. How do real like what are some 5 must do's for real estate investors to get noticed today? What is the first thing that a
Yeah.
company can do to get noticed now?
Well, as far as just getting noticed, and again,
Yeah.
this is for those people that aren't trying to sell anything, is having a social media presence.
Mm,
A big part of that, of course, is knowing where your audience is. If you're somebody who's trying to attract investors, they're probably not on Instagram. They
mhm.
might be,
Yeah.
but they're scrolling for different things. They're probably more on LinkedIn or
Mhm.
Facebook or the more professional platforms. I would say, unless you're running ads on social media platforms, you're not typically going to get leads from social media, but it
Mhm.
is a very crucial part of building your brand and your brand consistency. And again, staying top of mind, always being in people's feed, whether you're selling something or not, sharing articles, sharing valuable content really positions you as an expert in your industry. And also, again, builds your reputation as somebody who isn't just like, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff as you're scrolling through, but actually sharing and adding value. So social media, I would say, is a great way to stay noticed and stay top of mind. And again, even if you're not selling anything, having that reputation and that brand consistency is very, very crucial. So I would say that
Guys,
would be, and these are in no particular order, by the way.
no,
I'm
no,
going to
no,
give you
no, no. It's
five tips.
totally
Yeah, this
understood.
isn't number one.
Yeah, let's hit that one real quick though. What I recommend, if you've got no social media presence, guys watching, and DeRosa is on a lot of social media channels because we become sophisticated enough, and we have awesome people like Jess that work on our team that help us stay on all those social media channels. So you don't need to use us as an example of what you need to do day one if you don't have a social media presence. What I recommend that you guys do is to pick one, and there's not one better than another. Just pick a social media outlet. I have found that there are certain avatars that live or they're more likely to be found on different channels. For example, if you would most likely want to meet more sophisticated folks that might want to consider investing with you or might want to consider forwarding you a lead for a big deal or something like that, go on LinkedIn. It's a more sophisticated space. Facebook is kind of like a catch-all. It's the biggest tent, so to speak. And you're going to skew a little bit younger when you go down to LinkedIn. And even like, dare I say, Jess has introduced me to this where the cool kids are called TikTok, right? You can head over to TikTok too if you are looking for more of a younger based, maybe student population, maybe potential folks to invest as well, but I'm just going to skew on the younger side of the avatar. One that's it's tougher to build now than it was for DeRosa just back in the day is YouTube. YouTube is so much
Yeah,
easier when I got started with it in 2013. Now a lot of people are trying to make noise in YouTube, and so YouTube has
sure.
become more popular, but I still believe YouTube is one that folks should look at because of the Google ability of YouTube. So if you guys do
Right.
YouTube content and you do really good video descriptions, you can Google stuff right now on YouTube and a DeRosa video will come up
Yep.
because it's correlated, right?
Yes.
So what's that?
I said because of our team.
Yeah, because the team's awesome. That's it, because we do.
Well,
But
but
I
yeah,
believe
yeah.
that YouTube is a good place to start for people. The problem with YouTube is A, a lot of noise on YouTube these days, meaning there's a lot of competition. And B, YouTube is the biggest requirement to be successful on YouTube, guys, is consistency. So if you're going to
Yeah.
go YouTube, you've got to have good content that you're ready to put out every couple of days. You can't be just putting something on YouTube once a month when you feel like it. It's got to be very consistent. Be committed to do 2 to 3 videos a week for a year before you see real success come from it.
Yeah, no, that's really good feedback. I think for people who are not quite ready to shoot video content and post video content, I think, again, going back to my experience with office hours and, teaching our Accelerator and Accelerator Plus students, they get really overwhelmed by social media. And, they're asking, how often do I post? What types of content do I post? I would say, again, if you are starting from scratch, you don't have any presence whatsoever, I would do a Monday through Friday strategy where you create a doc and you have on Mondays, I post a motivational Monday post. On Tuesdays, for us, we do a transformation Tuesday because our tagline is transforming lives through real estate. So it's usually some kind of, transformation that we did through a property that we improved upon. Come up with a strategy, a Monday through Friday strategy, and schedule them all out on like a Sunday. And
Yeah.
then you can kind of set it and forget it. And then you have that brand consistency, you have those daily posts, or if you can afford it, hire a VA. They're great for things like that. And like to Matt's point, if you already are established, you still should be posting Monday through Friday. But then, having 5 static ads a week is great, but you should be having reels and YouTube videos and things of that nature if you are more established and you have had a presence for a decent amount of time. Videos are more engaging to our audience that has 0 attention span right now. So that would sort of be like the chain of events that I would suggest if you're just getting started or if you're a little more advanced.
Love it. Love it. Okay, cool. So that's number one, strong online presence through social media. Jess, next tip for those looking for real estate investors looking to get noticed. What you got? Bag of tricks. What's next?
Well, and like I said earlier, I probably should have started with this one because this is the one that I feel like is the most important. Social media presence is yes, important,
They're
but
all important. Yeah.
before you should be on social media, you need to have a website. And again, this is another one. It almost cracks me up a little on the inside when people are like, well, what do I need a website for? I have a business card or I have a Rolodex and I can call these people and say, hey, I have this amazing deal, and I'll email you, the pitch. And I tell people, you, again, like any other business, you have to think about how you choose to purchase things, whether it's a pair of tennis shoes or ordering Chinese food, right? So you go on Google and you're like, oh, I'm feeling like some Chinese food. And you Google best Chinese food near me. The first thing that pops up is a website that is awful. The website just could not be worse.
No.
And
Right.
what is your immediate thought, Matt?
Nope. No way.
Nope.
No.
This place is
If it's
probably
not, like for
disgusting.
me, if the website's not easy to use, right? Like easy to interface and like very clear on the offering with like photos and understandable, and it's got to be navigable,
Yeah.
and
Oh
it's
yeah.
got to be clear and kind of, easy to understand what it is they're trying to tell me, right?
Convey.
So
Yeah. And maybe that is the best Chinese food in your city.
could
But
be.
because they have a crappy website, you're immediately going to bounce off of that page and go to option number 2.
Yep.
And maybe option number
I
2
need
has a
that
better
Chinese food.
website, but worse food. Who knows?
Yep.
But the
Yeah, I
point
know. Right.
being,
I'll eat the worst food with with a great website. Yeah.
with a great website. That's not the point. That's not the point. The point is you need a great website,
Yeah.
and you need a website in general, and that it should look great. Even if it's a one pager being, you got your business name, your tagline, a little about me section, a little bit of maybe a mission statement, maybe kind of what you're looking to sell, and then a way for them to contact you. It could be a one pager, but it should
That's
look
it.
clean and
Online business
professional.
card.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, that's exactly what it is. And that's the thing, is like, even if you are passing out business cards, you need a place to point people, because if you don't, if people are like, oh, what's your website? And you say you don't have one, people are automatically going to discount you as somebody
Mhm.
who isn't a real player in the game. You're not a
If
real
you're running
professional.
around, guys, conferences, you're running around conferences with a Gmail email address on your business card or a
Yep.
Yahoo or whatever, you're not going to get taken seriously. Differences would be like a at whatever your website is.com or something like that, right? Get yourself a domain. It's super affordable.
That's so,
GoDaddy, I think,
yeah.
is what, Jess, like $10 a year to go and reserve a domain and then go build a website very affordably. There's free sites. We use Wix and we use professional development it done, but there's I think Wix don't they have like a cheapy website that that you could just to get started you could do it, and you of course hire
Yeah.
web developers
I
to
mean,
do that
it's
for you too.
definitely, yeah, it's definitely one of the more user-friendly platforms. I think the
Hmm.
cheapest
Yeah.
for the year, I think is like $1.80 for the year, and that includes a domain name.
Yeah.
So it's very doable, very doable.
I know it's money, guys, but listen, for probably a couple $100, I mean, you guys watch this, put a couple $100 on dinner and drinks on the weekend, right? Why not spend that for a year to have yourself a reasonably good website? Again, it's a good place to start.
Yeah.
DeRosa invest multiples more than that in our website, but you don't have to start where we did. You can just get a super basic website that's an online business card, maybe 1 or 2 pages, like about us, about you, make it click through to your LinkedIn bio. Super simple as a place to start, guys. And that. So there you go. Professional website. Get yourself one going out now. All right, Jess, next one. Next tip. Now we got a website. We got brandyisawesome.com as a website. We got social media presence and all that kind of stuff out there. What's next? What do these folks need to do as their next step for getting themselves noticed, getting eyeballs on themselves?
I would definitely go to email marketing as the next most important thing. You know,
Mm-hmm.
again, I have a list here, but I didn't order them correctly in terms of most important to least important. So I'm just sharing. I'm just sharing. So,
Reach in the bag,
you
and whatever
know,
your hand touches, pull the next one out. All good.
I'm full of all kinds of just, I don't want to say useless information because I think it's very useful, but useless information too. Kind of like a Snapple,
All of
you
it.
know?
Oh, yeah,
Snap the top off. I got some random facts in there too if you want to know about,
yeah. Mhm.
plants or
Um,
dogs.
yeah, my wife told me that I am a absolute bottomless pit of random
Isn't
facts
that fun
that
though?
have
It's kind of fun to have some
no
like
use in the
just
world,
like
but I can tell you
throw
all
out.
kinds of weird stuff about
People are
history
like,
or
"Why are you
movies.
telling me this?" You're like, "Cause it's fun."
'Cause it's
Okay,
just
so
in my
anyway,
head. It's in my brain.
email
Yeah.
marketing, email marketing. Why
Back
do
to
we need it,
marketing.
Matt? Let's talk about why don't you share how you feel about our email marketing strategy?
I love our email marketing strategy because, like, well, okay, let's back up for a second, right? Let's think of like a funnel like this, okay?
Yeah.
If you guys are like out trying to get attention, let's say like social media world, you got your big megaphone, look at me, look at me, look at me. Then you send them to your website. That's where they go, right? As much as
Mhm.
like you'd love for people to subscribe to your Instagram, this and that, you should be sending traffic to your website so they can consider working with you and they can get to know who you are. Then on your website, and I've put a few of our students over my knee, Jess, because their website doesn't have a means to harvest someone's email address. And not for nothing, as
Ah,
much as like we want to look real good on social media and get those
yes.
likes, we also want to make a few bucks in the process here, right?
Oh
And the
yeah.
only way
Huge
you're
missed
going to,
opportunity if you don't have a form fill on your website. Huge missed opportunity.
yeah. Well, it's like, why would somebody you're gonna let somebody go to your website,
Split
get all
pie.
excited about you, and then not have something yelling at them saying, hey, I'm going to send you something really awesome. All you got to do is give me that email address of yours. And here's the
Hmm.
awesome thing,
And
be that a
hopefully your
white
phone
paper.
number so I can call you every day.
Yeah, right. Because when you've got a deal, when you've got something or you need something or whatever it is, now you've got a list of people that think you're pretty cool and they would open an email if you sent it to them, right?
That's
But
right.
you don't have their email address. What are you thinking? So get that email address so you can send out cool stuff, such as articles written by my good friend Jess here, right? And if you could do me a favor and put one of Jess's articles here in the blog so everybody can check them out. But Jess writes articles for our blog on a weekly basis that go out by email, as does she create our newsletter. And that just highlights all kinds of cool stuff we're doing. If you guys are not doing deals yet, what I suggest you guys do is to go out there and find stuff you like. Find articles written by Jess. Find articles on Bigger Pockets. Send that out to your base and say, hey, I read this article. This is what I think of it. What do you guys think? And then send it out.
Mm,
It's an engage.
yeah.
What you're really doing when you send emails out, Jess, you're going to people that like and trust you, that you have their email address of, and you're going, hey, I'm investing in real estate. Hey, I'm investing in
Yeah.
real estate. Hey, I'm investing in real estate. And
Yeah.
then before you know it,
Completely.
you bump into them and they're like, don't you invest in real estate? You
How
know, I'm like,
can
I
I
do.
be
How
part
did
of
you
that?
know? How did you know that?
I want to be part of it. I want to play
Yeah,
with you.
I know.
I want to be
Right, right,
friends.
right. I cannot tell you how many people that have been on my newsletter base that have emailed me years afterwards. We sent them a newsletter to say they've even taken a newsletter that I sent them and they had saved it. And then like a year later, they replied to it and say, hey, can we have a conversation? I'm telling you guys, newsletters and email contacts are the bee's knees, man. It's really
Yeah.
where the rubber meets the road.
Well, and it goes back to staying top of mind, right? So even if, again, we're just saying, oh, well, I'm not selling anything. Okay, cool. Still stay top of mind. That doesn't just mean social media. You guys like staying in people's inbox. Otherwise, it is a great way to jazz them up about what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Keep them informed,
Yep.
especially if you are somebody who is an investor and you have other people investing with you. Keep them informed. Keep them in the loop. There's nothing that people who give you $1 million hate more than never hearing from you again. So really making sure that you're not just staying top of mind, but you're sharing successes. We talk about, our team, what our team is doing. We do shout outs on our team members. We do shout outs on, just really just what our company is doing as a whole, how we are performing, not just for ourselves, but for our other, investors that are there with
Mm-hmm.
us. We share all kinds of fun stuff. The first of the month is usually in that time frame when we send our newsletter. The 15th of the month is when we send our acquisitions newsletter that gives, hard number updates.
Mm-hmm.
And then in between, we do, drip campaigns for if anybody fills anything out on our website, they get dropped into a funnel and they get sent some cool stuff depending on what they're engaging with and what they're interacting with. And again, just more and more ways of staying top of mind and hopefully converting people into a lead, a sale, a connection, a contact, any of the above.
Mm-hmm. Love it. Love it. Guys, it's just it's a way to just stay in touch with people. That's it. Because again, this is not about like how many people can like my social media page, how many people can, make comments on my videos. At the end of the day, it really goes back to making dollars. And so funnel them to your website, and then on that website, have a mean to harvest their email, and then send them things that are of value so that they can engage with you when you do have a real opportunity, be that a capital raise, or you're looking for a deal, or you're in a new market, or you need some help, whatever it may be. You now have hundreds, maybe even thousands, as we do, of emails of people that believe in what you do. So
Mhm.
Jess, next one. What's next? People are on the edge of their seats. How other ways do they get themselves noticed as real estate investors?
Yeah, I mean, oh my goodness, I feel like a broken record in terms of staying top of mind. Here's another top of mind thing for you. And it's being really involved and engaged with your local community, whether that's going to networking events, hosting networking events, going to real estate meetups,
Mm-hmm.
going to online webinars, online, it doesn't have to necessarily be in person.
Yeah.
But again, staying top of mind by talking about who you are, what your reputation is, like showing people who you are, right? Because people really like working with people that they like. And if you're asking for money, people need to not just like you, but they need to trust you. So you need to be somebody who's approachable and able to engage in good conversation. And the only way to prove that to people is to be as involved, whether virtually or in person, in your communities as possible.
Yeah.
Just show people who you are and talk about your business, talk about your deals, talk about your growth, talk about your success, talk about your dog. Who
Yeah.
cares? Just be
Whatever you want.
relatable and have good conversation. So I would
Guys,
say that's a big one.
I love it. Go in your local circles. Go on meetup.com. Join your local RIA club. Join your local Bigger Pockets meetup, wherever it may be. Join a local circle. Okay. And I also recommend that when you join that local circle, there is someone that runs that meeting, and they're probably overworked, not getting paid at all because it's mostly volunteer work, right? And they don't have enough volunteers. So after you go to a little bit of a few of the meetings and you've developed a rapport with them, ask them what they need. Ask them if you can help them run the front desk. Ask them if you can help them, like, set up the chairs before the meeting. Whatever it is, offer to help. You know why? They will offer to help you eventually. That is how yours truly got started many years ago. My wife and I started running the Mercer County subgroup because we were invested in Mercer County, New Jersey. So we started running the Mercer County subgroup for South Jersey real estate investors. We had our first meeting. It was like 4 people came to the meeting. Had our second meeting, 15 people came to the meeting, and it started to grow and grow and grow to the point where we started running the central New Jersey chapter of that organization with 300 to 400 people in the room. Okay. That took a while to get there, but but there is a certain level of rapport and street cred that you get for being the person in the front of the room. And you don't have to immediately jump in and be the person in the front of the room at first. It evolves that way, but you should try and get some exposure over time to the front of the room because people remember you. Like, hey, aren't you that person that invests in Trenton? Because that's what happened. Hey, aren't you and Liz invested in Trenton? We sure are. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
oh, great. I've got this friend that's trying to sell this 5-unit, or I heard about this bank that's foreclosing on all these properties and they want a single buyer to come and take them all. Right. I'm telling you, there are so many opportunities that came up just from being in the front of the room. That's it.
Yeah.
So, high recommendation. Yes, you may. The chairs are already set up, Brandy. No, you can't. Yeah, but you can certainly do other stuff. Right. Brandy comes to our Conshohocken meetup at the Conshohocken Brewing Company.
Oh,
And you guys
fun.
find that on Meetup through Best Ever. That's how I know Brandy, because she's one of our attendees there. Brandy's jumped in the hot seat, had the courage to jump in the hot seat for one of our first meetings. So really excited to know you, Brandy. And that, but yeah, no, the chairs are. She's joking because the chairs are already fixed. It's like in a little amphitheater, so there are no chairs to set up, Brandy, as you
Oh,
know.
he's like,
But
what
you
can
can
I do?
certainly,
Give me a job.
yeah, right. You certainly get involved with something else. No problem. You let me know, and I'll gladly give you something to do. No problem at all. So, Jess, bringing it home here, right?
Yeah.
Getting involved in local events, getting a great website, social media presence, creating great high quality videos because everybody loves to watch a cool video, don't they? And of course, a website and a newsletter to capture all those leads and turn those eyeballs into dollar bills, right?
$1 bills, y'all.
Yeah. How do you maintain all this? Now that here's the stuff, give me like a
Okay.
quick tip on for somebody that's maybe a one person operation on how they do all the doing in that. Give me like advice from
Yeah.
somebody that's been doing this for decades, as you and I have, right? How does someone that's just getting going in the space maintain all these plates spinning to keep a marketing presence going over time?
Sure. That's a really good question. I would say, obviously, you have to be incredibly organized, but you should be anyway if you are running a business. I would start with your website. And if
Yeah.
you don't have the ability or like the know how or the time, just pay somebody for a one pager to get started.
Mhm.
Once you have your website, most everything else can be automated. If you don't have the means to hire a VA, like I said, create your social media strategy that's like a Monday through Friday situation. Go online on like Sunday. It could take you anywhere from 30 minutes to maybe an hour max. Schedule all of those posts in advance, then you can set it and forget it. Now you know Monday through Friday of that week, you've got all your social media ready to go. That's taken care of. Check. And then you can do the same with your emails. Maybe you schedule out 2 emails that week. Maybe do 2 hours of work on a Sunday where you automate everything and you schedule it all out. That way you can be present during the week, doing whatever it is you need to do, tending to actually running your business while all this marketing stuff is happening in the background. And then staying organized enough to know when the meetups are, when the virtual, things are that you can be really engaged with. Put those on your calendar. maybe even a few months in advance if that's when they're happening, and just staying really organized. But emails, social media, all of those types of things can be automated. And if you have a good website, then you can be pretty successful with those things just getting started, until you have the funds to, kind of grow from there and hire maybe an assistant or a VA.
Love it. Love starting a website. And I love doing something repeatable that you can do on a repeatable basis. It can be this much. It could be a Facebook post every day. Whatever it is that you're capable of, do that. And then look to add in over time to things. And that you don't have to develop a $100,000 marketing budget for yourself day one, right? Do a website, like just saying, GoDaddy website for Wix, couple $100, do that first, and then do some social media presence to promote it in that. And then as you build it, do the sustainable things over and over again, and then add in, let's try this. Let's try that. Also, one last thing for marketing, guys, is Jess and I have understood just the way it is. A lot of times you're going to throw some things up against the wall. Some things are going to stick. Some things are not. I am shocked at the videos that Jess and I have produced that went viral, and the videos that Jess and I produced that I thought like, oh man, this is going to be amazing, Jess. This is going to generate so many leads. And it went, like it's like you don't really know what the market's going to absorb until you start throwing things out there, and you kind of
you gotta try.
Just throw it out. And understand that not every post you make is going to get 400 comments, but if you make 10 of them, one of them might be the most popular post you've ever put out there. So
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, again, I can't talk more highly about our educational program. I've just seen so much success with our students there. If you guys want to work with me on Wednesdays and learn more about marketing, it's actually the most affordable that I've ever seen it be offered right now. So I'm really excited about that. I would love to work with each and every one of you.
Charge, guys, it is of more value than this, but our accelerator program used to cost $6,000. It is now a couple $100 a month, right? Monthly subscription, treat it like a gym membership. Go when you want, not when you don't. DeRosa team members have office hours daily, and you can interact with people like Jess, and you can have interfaces with me and Hervé and Justin. We all have office hours, and there's probably Jess, 20-30 hours worth of video content that constantly gets updated in our video vaults. What's that?
The resources are insane. Like it's well worth
the DeRosa underwriting tool, all of our marketing initiatives, templates for PowerPoint. It's for doing your own PowerPoint presentation. It's more than I could list for a couple $100 a month. It's all there. Guys, go to derosagroup.com/accelerator and check it out, because we're looking for a few good folks to come join us in our student programs.
Only the good ones, though.
Only the good ones. Only if you're good people. If you're an a-hole, don't go there.
Don't come. We don't want anything to do with you.
Yeah. Cool. Jess, love hanging out with you, man. I really appreciate you joining us today on DeRosa Insiders Live, and great interface with the audience, guys. Lots of great questions. I'm going to let you drop, and Jess and I will talk to you soon.